Hi everybody. Hi. What? We haven't been in this setting in a while. Lots of vlogs recently. Your girl's been visiting friends. But hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for this week's video because guess what? We're gonna be talking about something that is huge, monumental. Please excuse the birds my dad suddenly decided to purchase because why? Who knows? Okay, so this week we're going to be talking about how I booked my first feature film. So 2 years ago, I can't believe it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I filmed the movie In the Heights. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Okay, so basically, I'm just gonna talk about the entire experience from when I got the audition notice to today. So let's go, let's get into it. So boom. I remember it was like first semester of sophomore year, and I looked on my phone. I got a notification on Facebook, and I saw that my friend Gabe Leslie had tagged me in something. So I clicked on it, and it was In the Heights casting call, audition, open call, and I was like, interesting. So for those of you who don't know In the Heights, it's a musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda. I first heard about the musical when I was in high school. I saw a documentary about it, how it was on Broadway, and it was my freshman year, and it was the first time I had seen Latinos on stage, like the first time I'd seen people who looked like me, my culture, and I was instantly like, oh, I like theater now. Like, and so it was the audition call. And at the time I was in school, which was in Pittsburgh, and the audition was in New York City back home. And this year was particularly very difficult for me. School was just really hard. And so yeah, it was really hard. But I figured, you know, when am I gonna get this chance? I have to go to this audition, even though I could have gotten kicked out for missing class. Like, I didn't tell any of my teachers. I didn't tell anyone except for like my close friends. So I was like, why not? I booked a bus ticket to New York City and I went to the audition call. So at this point I've done hundreds of auditions. And because it's a musical, I was expecting, I don't know, for it to be a regular audition process. And so I was freaking out about what to wear. I found an outfit, So I went to the audition, and it wasn't that packed yet. It was okay. It was like a normal amount of people, plus like maybe plus 50 more. And so I signed up, gave my headshot, all of that. It was my turn to go into the room, and right off the bat, I knew it felt different. First of all, there were a lot more like actual dance. Like, usually auditions that I'm used to going to are like, you know, the same people because they're all trying to be on Broadway just like you, or people go to the same auditions. You just see everyone, you see the same face. This audition, I recognized maybe 3 people, but everyone else I did not know, and you can tell that they were New Yorkers, like side dancers, hip hop dancers, like you just knew, and a lot of side dancers. And then so we walked into the audition room, and off the bat it was like, okay, what are we doing? Christopher Scott, he was sitting down, he put us all in a circle, and he was like, okay, so I want everyone to go in and freestyle one by one. And I was like, oh, so it's that kind of audition. Heard you. All right, I was not prepared for this, but luckily your girl is not too afraid to freestyle. And so he put some music on, he put the club song from In the Heights, and people would just start going in one by one. And he also let people do like partnering if you want to do side partnering. And so some people did that, and then finally it was my turn, and I said, word, pulled up, don't remember what I did. I think I did a little bit of like Cuban salsa, I did a little bit of like, you know, sexy, I did a little bit, I don't know if I did hip hop, I don't know, because it was a club, so I was probably going with the vibes. But, you know, I was dancing to him, you know, being all ta-ta-ra-ta. I remember like he was like, I could tell he enjoyed me dancing. And so whatever, I stepped out. And overall, the vibes were just so cool. Like, it was fun to be in a room full of, like, your culture, people who are also Latinos. And it was just fun, you know? It wasn't as stressful as auditions usually are. But it was nice. Okay, so then after that, you know, I left, whatever. I think I got a callback notice the next day. Yes. It was the morning of the next day when I had already taken a bus back home that same night because I had class the next morning. So the next day during class, I remember freaking out. I was like, guys, I got a call back! Crazy. So now here's where the stress came in again because I can't keep on missing classes. Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna tell my teachers? And so I emailed the casting and I was like, hey, thank you so much. Do you have any, like, I forgot, I think I texted my mentor, my teacher. I was like, hey, what do I say? Like, I don't know if I can make it, but I really want to do this. And I was talking to the casting person and they were like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, maybe we can see you another time. And I was like, what does this mean? Like, that's it? Like, this is over? And she reached out to me again and they were like, hey, actually, we have a callback on Friday. We have like an audition callback on Friday that you can come to. And I was like, perfect. Because I was supposed to go the next day and I guess it was gonna be a different group of people. So I took the bus, went on Friday. And so this callback, my second callback, the room felt a little bit more familiar to what I'm used to. And of course that like made me a bit more nervous, but you know what, it was fine. Like, so my second callback, I'm assuming was like initial callbacks for a lot of people. It was mainly anyone who had an agent. So it was dancers who got the audition because they were in block or because they were in clear talent. Like, they all had agents. And I'm here, I don't have an agent. So I'm like literally the only one here at this audition who does not have an agent. And yeah, so it was kind of awkward, but you know, whatever, I got it done. So at this audition, we actually had to learn a combo and then perform it. And Jessica Castro was helping. I love her. Never had a chance to take her class, but I literally absolutely adore her. I love her so much. And so seeing her face was like really nice. And Christopher Scott was there too. And so we learned a dance to Gloria Estefan's song. And it was cute, it was fun. We learned the dance in the room, then we stepped out and they were seeing like 4 or 5 people at a time. And I remember they had us stand in a line and they were like, okay, say where you're from, like what borough you represent, and say your agency. And I was like, hi, my name is Reina, I'm from the Bronx, and I am a part of Actors Equity Association, because I didn't want to say I have no representation. I probably should have. But I was like, yeah, I just said my union, which is like not an agency. I guess that was kind of silly. Whatever. And then I danced. I guess I did well because I got called back again. And at this audition, I saw a lot of dancers that like, they don't know me, but I know them because I've been in the industry like for a while and I'm just like super observant. So I literally know like everyone, but like no one knows me. I'm just like always that like one person in the corner. Like it's so weird. Like this has been my whole life in the commercial industry, which is why I transferred to theater like in high school, because I was like, I don't really feel like I fit in the commercial world. Like I knew my, because I was like a really strong dancer in the Broadway like theater world and I could like sing and act, I was at a better advantage than the commercial world where there were like a lot of other dancers that were more trained and fit that vibe more. So I left commercial dancing, but in this room I saw a lot of those dancers that like, you know, are always killing the game, and I was like, whoa, like I haven't been in these auditions for a while because I'm usually only auditioning for like Broadway stuff or like theater things. So it was a nice reminder of the olden days. I'm only 22. Anyway, so I got a call back after that second audition, and I don't remember. I think it was maybe I heard back like maybe a couple days after, and so I had to take the bus again, go back home. And now this audition was huge, all right? There were hundreds of people here. So early in the day, I guess they auditioned the children because they were gonna have like kids in the movie as well. And so I walk into a studio I've never been in before. So I walk in, there are a lot of people getting ready, you know, they dressed up, they're stretching, everyone knows everyone. I literally know no one. I know them, but they don't know me, once again. And so, whatever, I'm just like getting excited for this audition. And then I find myself sitting near a specific group of people who I then realized were like Broadway actors. And they basically were like, that was the audition during the day, and they had like not like a show at night, so a lot of them left or something like that. Anyway, but so I was sitting next to a group of people, and that's when they were like, oh, whispering, and I'm like, I'm trying to listen, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? They were like, oh, they want you to partner up, and I'm like, great, I don't know anyone. So they're like, partner up, and so someone helped me somehow, and they were like, oh, you should like partner up with my friend or someone that I know. It was some dude, David. And so I was like, and at first he seemed a little hesitant, like he didn't really want to partner with me. And I don't know if that's the truth. If David, if you're watching this, I would love your input. But anyway, he seemed a little hesitant, and I was like, I'm not gonna let that bother me. Like, I know I'm about to go off, so whatever. And so he agreed to partner with me. And so we walk up, we go to the audition room, and it's like 2 large tables. I see the director, I see the choreographers, all the casting team. I'm like, all right, girl, strap your boots up, time to go, let's get it. And so it's a room full of people, and we're learning like a salsa combo, and it's Cuban salsa, which I'm like, let's go. It's Cuban salsa, and we're being taught by Reina. So I looked her up like after the audition. I didn't know who she was until after. She's like a huge like famous dancer. She dances. She's one of Pink's backup dancers. She's Cuban, and her name's Reina. So anyway, really exciting. She taught us like a salsa combo, partnering hip hop salsa thing, and this is like my forte, so I'm hyped. And actually it was a lot of fun. Like, I don't think I was that stressed out. I probably was, but you know, I was just like in the zone, because at this point, like, I had just like had enough auditions and experience to know how to stay in it. And so we learned the dance, it's fire, and now it's time to like do it in groups. And I'm like, let's die. So they start the music, a little like freestyle in the beginning, and then we start the combo, and I remember it was wild. It was just so much fun. Me and my partner had great chemistry. We had so much fun. We had a little moment at the end, you know, a little freestyle moment at the end. Everybody was cheering, and it was so dope, and I knew we killed it. And then that exact moment, they picked like all the people who were gonna stay and get called back again, and they were like, you. We got called back. I was like, let's go downstairs and learn a new combo. I was like, ah! Okay, at this point I was getting overwhelmed, not gonna lie. So we went downstairs to the other studio, and now we're being taught another like combo that was jazz. And it was being taught by Ebony Williams, who is incredible. And I also saw another friend, like, she didn't know me at the time. Yo, I'm such a stalker. I literally know everyone, they don't know me. Before me and Reina became close friends, there was another Reina who's another amazing dancer, Reina Nunez. She was in the room, and I remember looking at her, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Reina Nunez. But anyway, we're learning this jazz combo, and at this point, I'm like tapped out. Like, I'm tapped out. I remember this is when my nerves started kicking in, and the dance was actually really hard, so I had to, it was difficult. Needless to say, very difficult. But I learned the combo as much as I could. We went back upstairs to do the second combo. And at this point, I was getting a little bit overwhelmed, and so when I like get in my head, it's just, I don't know. So I did the combo. I did the best as I could. I had as much fun as I could. We had to freestyle again after that. And honestly, like, I could have freestyled better. To the point where like everyone's like, this was really, really everyone's forte. People were like flipping, people were doing like cool b-boy moves, all these things. I was like, I don't know what to do, it just stands out. But whatever, it was fun. It was nighttime at this point, and then the audition was over. My brother picked me up. And yeah, and so it was just like all in the air now, and I couldn't really do anything about it. I did as best as I could, and that was it. And then at this point, it's like, maybe it's December, I don't know. And then I was like, I waited a bit, and then I think that's when I started like emailing them again, and I was like, hey, we need to like, just wondering, have you heard anything back yet about like who got booked? And I was like, basically emailing them like every 3 weeks. It was like a lot. I remember I went to Europe for a trip, and at this point I was like so overwhelmed emotionally because of school. It like took such a huge toll on me. I was like became really, really, really insecure. Like, I couldn't even like sing a note without crying or hyperventilating. It was like really bad. Like, no, hated it. That's why I graduated a year early. But anyway, and so at this point I was like praying every day, like, God, I really want this movie. Please give me this movie. Because I felt like if I got into this movie, then I would feel like I was actually a good performer. Like in school, the thing that really ruined, like made me so like, that made me struggle so much was that like I felt like I wasn't good enough, that like I wasn't worthy enough. Anyway, we don't need to talk about the negative things, but like I just feel like if I didn't get this, my life, like my worth would be over. Like all the hard work I did to be the performer that I was meant nothing if I didn't get this. And so that was a lot of pressure. Probably should have done that to myself. But after I got back from the trip, I guess it's like January, I finally got an email and they said that I was pinned for the movie. And I did a lot of research because I had no idea what that meant. But basically, just like the visual would be, they have my headshot pinned on a board, and if they want to use me, they'll unpin me and then use me, right? And so basically I got it but didn't get it is what it meant. And so that's what I was just pinned. And I think like June comes around, it's summer, I haven't heard anything. They've already started rehearsals, they've already started filming, and I'm like, I didn't get it. And it was okay. I mean, I was sad obviously, but I was really proud of myself. And so even though I didn't get it, I decided that I still wanted to be in the film somehow. So I saw that they were looking for background actors for the film. So I signed up, I got in to do background work for the club number scene. And I was really excited. I saw a lot of people I knew. I saw all those dancers. I was like, oh, I think I saw a couple people I knew at the audition. I recognized at the audition too. And so I'm on set at the club scene and I'm seeing all the dancers and I'm like, it starts to hit me. I'm like, no, I wish that was me. I was just so sad. I was like, oh, I really want to do this. And I had fun on set, I'm not going to lie, but it hurt. It hurt a lot. So I just really wanted to be in the film. And I was supposed to do background work for 2 to 3 days. After that one day, I didn't show up the next day because I just couldn't do it. I was like, this is not good for my mental health. And I wasn't the most professional thing to do because I really they did not like the fact that I didn't show up. And I thought, no one cares, I'm just one actor. They were really upset that I didn't show up. But whatever. So that same morning, guess what happened, guys? That same morning, I got an email that they unpinned me for the 96,000 number. And I was like, what? Literally the very next day that I was just on set as a background actor, they emailed me the next day and said that I was unpinned. And then after that, the email was like, you need to go to a fitting tomorrow at this time, at this location. Your rehearsal is the day after. I was like, oh, it's happening. Oh, it's happening. It happened so fast, I didn't even have time to process. So the next day I went to fitting. I was trying on my bathing suit and I was like, what's going on? Like, what, we need bathing suits. Trying on my bathing suit, all these things. I'm seeing the signs and the heights. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it literally happened so fast. I literally thought my chances were over because they already had everyone. They picked everyone already. But God was like, no, girl, I got you. And so that later in that week, I had my first rehearsal and it was the day before shooting. I saw all these dancers, obviously, once again, because I'm a stalker. All these people I knew, but they didn't know me. I actually recognized one girl who I had seen in auditions early in the year for West Side Story, so I knew one person, but that was about it. And so we had rehearsals at where they were gonna shoot. So it was in Highbridge Pool. I've never been there before, but I've always heard about Highbridge. Actually, I think it might have been Highbridge. I'm not sure, but it's a popular pool in New York City. And so we're doing rehearsals, and I'm learning choreography that very moment. They're setting choreography that they've done in the past, but also making choreography right there and then. And I'm like, all right, this is serious. So we had rehearsal all day. The next day, time to film. We have to wake up at like 4 a.m. I get there at like 6 a.m. We get into hair and makeup. We get into wardrobe. We get, our breakfast, and then we walk to set. It's a lot of waiting around, true. But also during this time, it was so cold. Like, it was so cold. It's crazy, ridiculous how cold it was. Like, it was not summer weather at all. And so we start filming, and it's crazy. There's like hundreds of background actors. Like, the pool is filled with people, and like the cameras are everywhere. It's just like crazy. And so we film the dance that we learned the day prior. And then also throughout that day, they had to make choreography right like 10 minutes before we filmed. So the choreographers were like, come, a couple people learn this. We learned it really quickly, and then they started picking who would like be where. And I was like, oh my gosh, Rena, like professional cap on. Get this choreo, get picked so you can be in a good spot in this number. And for that number, I was like directly in the front, right behind Anthony Nathaniel. So you're gonna be able to see that clip. Fire. So that was really exciting. And like overall, it was just like, it was kind of crazy because on the second day of filming, because the pool was so cold and like we were dancing and like all these things, I got really sick. Like that was the most sick I've ever been in my entire life. I don't know what I had. It was bad. Like I was like shivering, fever, chills, like taking medication and then going into film and then like freezing and being cold and really hot. Like I was so sick. It was crazy how sick I was. But that was also the time I realized how good juices are, because it literally saved my life. Like I got like anyway, this is off the topic. But so yeah, I was really sick, and it was supposed to be 2 days of filming, but they had to make a third day of filming because they couldn't fit everything in because it was raining too hard, and it was just crazy. Literally craziness. But it was so much fun. One of the big like dance numbers towards the end, of the dance scenes towards the end, I have footage of it, so hopefully I'll like put a clip on here, because by the time you see this, the movie will be out, so I won't get sued. So yeah, there's like a clip and you can see like the actors on the side cheering us on, everybody's cheering us on, and it's just like so filled with like so much love for just like the culture, so much love and pride. It was just amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, the whole experience was great. The experience was great, but there were all 3 days of filming, I was just like mentally like being really tough on myself. Like the people who are in this movie and also this particular number are Beyonce dancers, are renowned choreographers, are like people who have experience that is unfathomed. Like I'm just like, what? Like, and I'm dancing right next to these people. I felt so unworthy, and I was just like, I don't deserve to be here, truthfully. Like, which makes no sense because I am there, so obviously I'm good enough, but it was just like so deteriorating. Like it was just and this is what happens to me all the time. Like every time I book something that's just like really a big deal, I always convince myself that I'm not worthy of it. And it's something that I've been like struggling to work on for a while now, and it's getting better now. But yeah, and like it really sucked out the joy a lot of the time. But hopefully I don't do that anymore. I don't know. But yeah, it was really difficult. So although I had a lot of fun, like that was still going on in my head. And just looking back at it now, like I was obviously way too hard on myself. And it's such a, like I right now I'm taking it in. I'm allowing myself to enjoy this movie, to enjoy my accomplishments, to enjoy all the hard work I've put in my entire life. And I'm only 22, and I feel like I've been working my butt off, like as if I'm 35, and I'm still so young, you know. So really grateful for just taking the time to like settle in, you know. But this movie was insane. I mean, the choreographers and the director, John M. Chu, he was also a part of Step Up 2. Christopher Scott was a part of Step Up 2, which is a film that is the reason why I dance today. And to think that I'm a part of this like monumental film that is literally a part of history. I mean, it's a story only God could have written. Honestly, it is truly a story only God could have written. And I'm just so grateful. I've already seen the film once. I saw an early screening of it. I'm gonna see it again on Thursday and again on Friday and again every single day until it's not up anymore. I really hope you guys love the film. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I missed. Yeah, the movie was supposed to come out not last year, but you know, the pandemic. So it's coming out this year, and I think it's just the perfect timing. I'm so hyped. This is huge. This is a movie for New York. It's a movie for everything. Oh, I should read to you a letter that I wrote preparing for the audition, because it was something that I was like, I really needed a lot of like help getting the strength to do this film, because for this audition, because I knew that it was a big deal, but I also didn't want to like let this opportunity slip from me. My friend encouraged me to write this before I went to the audition, just to remind myself of why I'm doing this, why I was at the audition, why, you know, I deserve to be in the movie. So I wrote, oh, this was for the callback. Why did you get called back? This is my story, and it's my community story, and my mom, dad, brother, and cousin, sister's story. I got called back because this is my opportunity to shine God's light in me. I grew up doing this, not auditioning or training, just dancing at family parties and in my living room with my mom and dad blasting salsa. The drums, culture, and spirit is in my veins. It is the reason I am who I am, and this show is me. I'm still living it. I'm so excited, not because it is an important or huge opportunity, but because they want actual New Yorkers, Latinx, in the film. There's no need to be nervous or scared because what is for me won't pass me. I didn't have to be someone else or compromise who I am for this audition process show. I just had to be me. And tomorrow when I get into the room, I just have to be me. Don't think about anything else or anyone else, and tell my story. Tell our story. Tell my story. That is going to distinguish me from everyone else. They are looking. Show them your light. They are looking for you. You are Reina Guerra. They want you. So I wrote that. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, like prior to this audition, like all the auditions I went to were about like trying to be in theater shows, like and pretending to be someone I'm not, which is like the point of acting. But it was always just felt like I had to work 20 times harder, you know. But for this show, for this audition, for this movie, I'm just playing myself, like a New Yorker, an Afro-Latina, you know. I'm just like being me, and it really just made it all that much easier. It was amazing. I'm so happy. So I hope all of you get to see the film. You can see it on HBO Max, streaming on HBO Max, or you can see it in the theaters. This film is so good. It's everything New York stands for. It's everything the culture stands for. And I can't wait to see it so many other times. Thank you for watching and listening. Please comment, like, share if you have any questions about what it's like to be a professional dancer, actor, singer, or if you have any more questions, or if I didn't hit any specific topic or anything, just ask me questions. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my story. Love you guys.